Less than 4 hours remained until my execution, when Warden Thompson appeared at the door of my cell. Picture this: a man facing death asks for just one thing. He was gray-haired, tired-faced, heavy-eyed. Mr. Thompson had seen too many deaths. He asked for my final request. I answered without hesitation. I want to see Rex, my German Shepherd, one last time. Thompson raised an eyebrow. Surprised. No special dinner? No phone call? But he nodded and promised to arrange it. 40 minutes later, I was led into the prison courtyard. Cold morning wind cutting through my orange jumpsuit. I shivered. Gray walls. Barbed wire. Massive gates. And parked there, a sleek black SUV with tinted windows. Completely out of place. A man in a dark suit leaned against the hood. Even from a distance, I knew him. Prosecutor John Harris. The same man who'd fought for my death sentence 7 years ago, with fury, as if I'd personally wronged him. He always liked to see his cases through to the end. The metal gate clanked. A guard led in a large German Shepherd on a leash. Rex. He had aged. Coat dulled. Muzzle thick with gray. Limping on his hind leg, from that terrible night 7 years earlier. But those intelligent brown eyes? Still the same. I sank to my knees. Opened my arms. Heartbreaking. This was our final goodbye. Except, Rex didn't run to me. He stopped. 3 meters away. Fur on his neck bristled. A low, guttural growl rose from his throat. A sound I'd heard only twice in his life, only when he sensed real danger. And he wasn't looking at me. His gaze locked on the gate, on Harris. Pure fury in those eyes. I stood up, confused. Rex was never aggressive without reason. The guard shifted nervously. Tension thick in the air. Harris straightened. Slowly walked toward us, smug grin spreading. Well, have you said goodbye to your dog? Let's end this circus, and put this rabid beast to sleep. That moment. Rex exploded. He lunged with such force the leash ripped free. In seconds, my dog had Harris on the ground, teeth sinking into the sleeve of his suit. Harris screamed. Guards rushed in. Fabric tore. Rex was pulled back. Harris rose, face twisted with rage and fear. His sleeve hung in shreds. Shirt torn. And on his forearm, everyone saw it. A long, ugly scar. Whitened with age, but unmistakable. The mark of a deep bite from a large dog. A shiver hit me. Recognition. 7 years ago. I came home, found my wife dead in the kitchen, stabbed multiple times. Next day. Rex limped home. Covered in blood. Wounded. Shreds of someone else's clothing in his teeth. Police said it was my wife's blood. That Rex saw me commit the crime. My voice shattered the silence. Rex came home covered in blood the night my wife was killed. He was wounded, limping, with shreds of someone else's clothing in his teeth. This is his mark, my dog's mark, on the hand of the real killer. Harris flinched. Hastily pulled up his torn sleeve. Voice too loud. Absurd. I was bitten by a stray dog 3 years ago at the dacha. Nothing to do with this case. Mr. Thompson stepped forward. Eyes on the scar. Sam. The older guard who'd always shown me quiet kindness, spoke slowly. Mr. Attorney. I remember. 7 years ago, right after the murder, you called in sick for 2 weeks. Said you fell off your bike, broke your arm. You walked around with bandages. I saw you at the courthouse. Thompson pulled out his phone. Dialed fast. I need John Harris's medical records for the last 10 years. Urgent. From the warden of the state prison. 10 agonizing minutes. Harris stood pale. Sweat beading. Rex growled softly, eyes never leaving him. Phone rang. Thompson put it on speaker. Hospital voice, clear. Mr. Thompson. John Harris's record from 7 years ago, diagnosis, multiple deep lacerations to the right forearm. Injury pattern consistent with large dog bites. Antibiotics recommended. Patient refused to file a police report for an animal attack. Thompson lowered the phone. Looked at Harris. I stepped forward. Voice shaking. If it was a random dog at your dacha, why no police report? Why hide the wounds? Because it was my dog, protecting my wife, from you. Harris opened his mouth, but Rex lunged again. Not at Harris this time. Toward the black SUV. He reached the trunk first. Clawing furiously. Barking desperately. Gnawing the bumper. I yelled. There's something in there. Check the car. He found something. Harris went blue. Rushed toward the SUV. Shouting about private property. Thompson strode forward. Drew his service weapon. This is prison property, and I am the law. Open the trunk now, or I force it open. Harris's hands shook. He pressed the button. Trunk rose slowly. 2 large leather suitcases. Duffel bags. Like he was leaving for a long trip. A guard murmured. Mr. Attorney, are you going somewhere? Harris tried to stay calm. Voice tight. Vacation, after this case. Flying to Europe tonight. Personal belongings. But Rex wouldn't stop. He leaped inside. Sniffed feverishly. Sank teeth into a side pocket. Tore leather. Harris shouted. Get that dog out. Guards held him back. Rex pulled something small, shiny. It flew from his mouth, clattered at Thompson's feet. A silver locket. Antique. Tarnished. Thompson picked it up. Opened it. His face changed. Inside, a tiny, faded photo. My wife, smiling. The locket I gave her for our anniversary. Missing the night she died. Never found. Thompson turned. Held it out. Voice cold as ice. Mr. Attorney, during the investigation you said the robber took all valuables, pawned them. You handled that part personally. Explain how the victim's locket ended up in your things 7 years later? Why keep it? Why take it with you today, on execution day? Harris broke. Shoulders slumped. Arms limp. He looked at me, hatred, despair, relief mixed in his eyes. Like a man tired of carrying a secret. His voice cracked into a scream. She didn't deserve a worthless piece of work like you. I loved her since university. Offered her everything, my career, my money, my position. And she chose you, an ordinary engineer with a meager salary. She laughed at me, said nothing ever happened between us, that she found me disgusting. He breathed hard. Then quieter, almost to himself. I came that evening, when you were gone. Wanted to talk one last time. Convince her. She refused again. Said she never loved me, never would. Wanted me gone. I don't remember exactly, just grabbing the knife from the table in rage, her screaming, trying to run. Then that damned dog attacked, bit my arm. I barely fought him off. Hit him hard, thought I killed him. But he escaped through the window. I was sure he'd die in the woods. Guards grabbed him. Cuffed him. Thompson already on the phone, demanding case review. Everything moved fast. Too fast to believe. Rex finally came to me. Calm. Buried his gray muzzle in my palm. Tail wagged slowly. I knelt in the middle of the yard. Hugged him. Buried my face in warm fur. Only then, tears came. Relief. Joy. Gratitude, to this faithful creature who remembered, and waited 7 long years. 3 hours later, instead of death row, I stood at the prison gates. A free man. Emergency court order. New evidence. Harris's confession. Sentence overturned. Full rehabilitation. Thompson escorted me out. Apologized for the years lost. Promised compensation. Gates creaked open. First step toward freedom in 7 years. Warm asphalt under my feet. Rex walked beside me. Limping, but head high. Proud. We took a taxi, kind Sam had called. I gave the address, the city cemetery. 20 minutes later, we stood at her grave. Simple gray stone. Her name. Her dates. I placed white roses on the headstone. Whispered. We won, darling. Rex found your killer. Justice is served. I'm sorry it took so long, but we didn't give up. We never forgot you. Rex sat beside me on the damp grass. Gray muzzle on my knee. We stayed in silence. 2 survivors. 2 who loved her with all our hearts. A cold autumn wind rustled the leaves. But I no longer felt cold. I was free. Vindicated. And my most loyal friend sat next to me. Loyalty isn't measured in years or distance. True loyalty lives in the heart, remembers scents, remembers faces, bides its time, and never gives up. And today, the devotion of an old dog with a gray muzzle saved my life. Proving one simple truth. Justice doesn't always come from a courtroom. Sometimes, it comes from a faithful heart that remembers the truth. Welcome to Storyversa, where stories like this remind us what true loyalty really means. Subscribe to Storyversa for more powerful tales of justice, heart, and unbreakable bonds.